Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Cop Talk. Yeah, we're back and back under very somber circumstances, I must say. I believe it was yesterday. Got a message from Stoney that yeah, man, we've got some of our technical issues sorted, and we can be back for tomorrow's show. And was all excited and happy and like, yeah, man, this is great stuff. And then we get the sad news today about our very own Diogo Jota, the shotter, passes away with his brother in a car crash. Circumstances, what we know so far is that he was driving a Lamborghini. He was on his way back to Liverpool to come and get ready for pre-season. Because he'd had a lung injury in that operation, he was advised not to fly. So that hence why he was driving. He's going to get the ferry from Santander back to Portsmouth and then drive on from there to Liverpool. But obviously he never made it. The story goes that he went to overtake a car, tyre blew out, forcing him off the road, to which the car then caught fire and killed both him and his brother. I must say, R.I.P. Diogo Jota, and our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, his newlywed wife, and his 3 little kids, man. It makes things into perspective when you think about football, you just think about the human being and the fragility of life and how things are. Look at it. May, he's just won the league. June, he wins the Nations League. And then look, this is how July turns out. It's absolutely shocking. Stoney, it's nice to be back, bro, but under such circumstances. Good to see you again, man.
Yeah. I can only really extend on everything you've said as well, Archie, really. I mean, our conversation yesterday was a complete contrast yesterday than it was today. And as you said, we were really focused on being able to finally gain access back to StreamYard with some support from Column. And I was awoken to a number of messages on my phone. I'm not really heavy on social media, but I was still sleeping. And there was a lot of messages coming through on my phone, which I'll be honest is actually quite unusual for me. And as you said, I posted, some brief information in our group, the little information that I was aware of. But similar to you, it's very, very, very touching, and it actually feels quite raw. Considering I don't know the person at all in real life, it's actually touched very, very, very differently. So, extremely sad news.
Doctor.
Yeah, man. I just think, kind of echoing what both of you have said, and I think picking up on Stoney's point of not knowing someone, and I guess, although I've never met him in person, I've seen him a few times, but I just think, when people play for your club, there's like a broader sense of family in it, and families have rows, families falls out. Sometimes you want a player to be sold, sometimes you'd have a player misses a chance, but these people play a prominent part in our lives, isn't it? Like, we all love football, we all love Liverpool, so we watch these guys weekly, and I guess we're all gonna have memories of Jota that have been there over a period of how many years, and I think then, even though he plays for our club, I feel then we then empathize with the human story, right, of a father, his family, in terms of what they've done, in terms of his kids, his brother's also gone, his parents. And you just think it's absolutely tragic, man. It's absolutely tragic. And I think it's one of those moments in life, right, where I guess that there just isn't a positive. And sometimes you just have to accept that. like there's not always going to be a silver lining to this cloud, and there's not always going to be, oh yeah, but like, it's going to be okay, because sometimes it's just tragic and you just have to just deal with that space. And yeah, I think we're in one of those positions right now, man, where like it's just a lot.
I think you're right there, mate. Trust me, it's not. There's, like sometimes, oh yeah, we can take the positive. There isn't. There just isn't. None whatsoever, man. You have to think as well. Him and his brother, that's his parents' only kids, man.
I swear.
Yeah. So that is another just.
And his bro plays for a team in Portugal.
Yeah.
Second division team or something like that.
Yeah. It's really, really, really sad. So got that news. I looked at. I don't even know why I decided to check my phone at that point of work. I just must have had a quick break or something and just looked at my phone and just saw the message. And I was just like, what? I had to then go and do my research. Like, like people like to spread these bad jokes and think it's funny. I just had to stop. Couldn't focus, man. Couldn't focus. And I haven't been able to focus properly all day since.
Hard, man.
It keeps going round and round in my head, man. Round and round in my head. Stoney, I think you are going to have to press on the messages. Can you do the first one for me, please? Mark.
Of course I can.
So that's good evening, Mark. He says, you'll never walk alone, Jota. And your brother, you'll sadly be missed. My heart goes out to you, your kids, wife, and family. R.I.P. And also, if you move on, evening, lads. I'm devastated. Shouts goes out to Mr. CW. And his next one is really got to me the news. One of my favourite players when he was fit. Big game player. Goal versus Everton stands in my memory. Prayers to the family and friends of Jota and his brother. Yeah, like we said, just got married 2 weeks ago. You could imagine, man, 2 weeks ago, you're probably planning your whole future, looking at the rest of your life together.
Yeah, they've been like childhood sweethearts, right? Because I see a picture of them when they were like super young and the rest of it. And
really, really sad, man. Really, really sad. So for Liverpool, he's there with us for 5 seasons. In those 5 seasons, he played 182 games, scored 65 goals. Due to his injury record, it would have been a lot more. I believe the time he was at Liverpool, he was our most natural finisher. Of all the players that we've had, without a shadow of a doubt. Because I'm sure we did a show where he was talking about strikers and finishers, and he was involved in that conversation. And we're getting back to talking about he was involved with people like Torres and Suarez in that conversation.
Bro, it was this time last year because it was in the off season.
Yeah,
and we were speaking about the finishers. So imagine like a year ago, we're talking about where he sits in the history of our forwards. A year later, we're here. It's mad.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Big shouts goes out to Solo from the Man United agenda. I heard he's making a return as well, bringing it back. Well done, Solo. Sad to hear the news today. We'll never walk alone. Thank you very much, Solo, man. Thanks for that. Yeah, it's another point. So Liverpool are now going to retire the number 20 shirt. I think it's a massive mark of respect. Fully deserved, man. Fully deserved. What do you say? I'm back also, guys. So we'll get you on me soon. Yeah, man. Look forward to it, man. Look forward to it. Having a wonderful fast, you definitely have some of that. Definitely. So Stoney, Doctor, man, tell me about some of your great memories of Jota.
I think there's probably too much. which is a good thing, which is always a positive. I think my memories are probably go back, and they're not always definitely to do with goals or moments. I think it's to do with the smile. You've got certain players, I think, who play throughout their career who've always got a smile on their face. So I'll just give you an example. Someone like Ronaldinho. That for me is a snapshot of Jota. I don't think there was ever a moment where he was playing when he wasn't, had an issue with his injuries, where it was a case where he was lacking in anything offensively that Liverpool would have wanted. If you're talking about work rate, if you're talking about someone who's able to adapt to different formations and different tactics, then Jota was clearly there. And just to mirror image what you mentioned as well, Artie, on a show that we had previously, we were speaking about natural finishing. Jota was there. And if we think about somebody even for his height, his aerial ability was something that I will probably be placed quite at the forefront of my mind. So whereas it may not be individual, I'm just thinking of those attributes where he was effective being one of our offensive players.
Yeah, no, he was absolutely tremendous in the air. I think, Stoney can relate because they were about the same height. So
yeah.
Can definitely relate to that. But no, he was, man. Seriously, he was serious in the air, especially in the box.
Lethal, isn't it?
Don't mess about. Doctor, some of your memories.
Do you know what? My probably favorite moments of Jota was just it was almost like the inconsistency to his game, right? And that the way that I'd be just cussing this guy. And I guess by that, I mean almost, he might get the ball on the halfway line. He might turn and he'd miss a 5-yard pass. He might do that 4 or 5 times in a row. You think to yourself, this guy, what's wrong with this guy? It's a simple pass, Jota. It's a simple pass. And then in the same game, he's received the ball on the half turn, just outside the penalty area, and he's done 3 players and put it bottom corner. It's almost like there was always this variety of skill set in his game, from struggling to do basic things to then doing an absolute madness. And the amount of goals that he must have for LFC, where he's put the defenders on his back and he's done that little thing and he's beat 2 or 3 men in quick. It's nuts because it's like he would just always do it. But you can think of ball to the guy on the halfway line and he's flexing like Dirk Cow. Whereas in the penalty area, man's looking at bloody, I don't know who's a great small striker who Kun Aguero or a Suarez or a Romario. He would do those types of things in games. You're like, this player is a top shotter. But 10 minutes before that, it's a shocking touch. But I don't know what it was about this guy, but as he got closer to the goal, this guy just became a bagsman, isn't it? And it's like everything just got uplifted from his timing, his ability to dribble, the way he saw the game. It was just nuts. That's why I used to have this real love-hate of him, whereas I'd be cussing him now. A 5-yard pass. And then it's just an absolute moment of magic where he's just done, man. And I guess, but the one that comes to me is the Arsenal one where he just puts 2 men on their back. But it's almost like...
My boy was talking to me about that at work today. He's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, it's almost like it doesn't even look like he's even doing a skill. He's just doing these little quick things.
Yeah, he said about Arsenal always tormented us. He goes, but that one I always remember. He goes, about 3 seasons ago when he put a couple man on their backs and just finished it. I was like, yeah.
But this is it, bro. Like, as much as I love certain of our strikers, I don't have memories of them putting man on their backs like that. It's like this where we do this regularly. Put a man on their back, pause.
Like a simple thing.
Yeah.
Just a little thing, and man, I just sliding past my man. So, yeah, last time you have Jota, man, just showing real extreme levels of quality in like real specific clutch moments, man. It was because even was it the Forest game this season where we were struggling to score, and he comes on, and then I think Nunez plays it to him. He kills Van Brer, Bainster comes in, beats the second one, puts the bottom corner. Like, this is what we've been talking about, Jota. It's like he would just do these real extreme moments of quality, man. That you just think like, this guy, yeah. So, mate.
CW says, I remember cussing Klopp for playing outside the game when we already qualified. Jota ended up being out till April, which cost us. Raging that day.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me, mate. Raging. Yeah. So one of them that he said as well, that Chris said as well, was that goal against Everton.
Yes, that has been replayed quite a lot today as well. From some of the highlights. You're correct with that.
That was, and he was actually a big game player. He did. He turned up in big games, man. I tell you.
And this is it, because it's almost like and that's what I always used to find so remarkable about him. I guess talking about him in the past tense is really, really weird, but yeah, we are where we are, I guess. But it was just the way that, like I said, he would be struggling in games. Like the fundamentals aren't working, but yet would just show a piece of extreme quality in big games when everyone's losing their heads. Where he gets a yard and defenders are rushing in, and you think that he might just snatch at the ball, and he takes one more touch again, and man is just dancing on ice around him, and just that ability just to be so composed it was a real skill, man, real skill, and then the way he would celebrate in it, that real just I got you, a really infectious kind of energy, man.
Yeah, but in a few shows this season, we've spoken about selling him due to his injury record, and now something like this just puts everything into perspective, man. It's like,
I mean, what I was unaware of, Artie, and you mentioned it at the opening of the show, is with his was it his lungs that he had the operation of? I wonder if that was a recent thing or if that had been part of the injury that he had been dealing with throughout the season. I mean, we'll never know, but I'm unsure. Sorry, go ahead, Doctor. I do apologize.
Yeah, no. So I think it was a part of the injury, because my record, if someone can check, that game happened in October, I think it was, and he doesn't return for time.
Yeah.
And I guess, and just like a normal rib injury, you wouldn't expect it to be 2-3 months or so.
Yeah.
I remember hearing rumors at the time from a couple of different podcasts and that saying that apparently he had an issue like with his lung. And I think where it's tricky for clubs is, like journalists would ask for injury updates on players, right? And I guess it's really tricky to know what's the line between getting an injury update versus this is someone's private medical history. And obviously that's private, isn't it? So if he's got some kind of lung issue that is separate to it's been caused by the rib issue, then how much does the club share? But I remember just thinking when he came back he comes back from injury against Forest, I think it is. Then Slot says that he's had a setback and then we don't see him for a couple more games after that. Then he comes back, but then Diaz is still playing his 9. So it's almost just like he was never fully fit again for the rest of the season. Hence then the lung procedure that he's then recently had post-season now makes sense as to why he was struggling throughout the season after he come back, right? So now
it all makes sense now.
So now I feel like a blatant prick a little bit, because I was like, what's wrong with Jota?
We all do.
But yeah, these times I've got lung.
Remember, everyone's saying, injuries have mashed him up and he can't run no more, his legs are gone.
Yeah,
he just looks slow and lethargic, man. So now it makes sense as to why. Desby, big shouts goes out to you, bro. He says, evening for the Reds, a very sad day. So sorry for him and his family and close friends. R.I.P. Diogo Jota. Yeah, I think we was all at it, man, and we all had our piece, we all had our pound of flesh. Like that. And that's one of the reasons why we was talking about, I think it's time that we sell him.
And then last week there was the links with Jota plus money for Isak, and I was like, yeah, I'll take that. And it almost felt a bit, almost just felt like we were a bit ungrateful, innit? And clearly Slot has always believed in this guy. So the fact that he's then had this lung procedure kind of, I guess, crystallizes for maybe in Slot's mind, you're part of my plans next season, isn't it? Because I know that when you were at the start of the year, I was liking what you were doing. So yeah, it almost just, I guess, sometimes we can just lack a bit of class as people, right? And when we talk about people like they're just cards on a deck and they're just going to swap over. Yeah, Jota, Isak, Bob, loving it, like, without thinking about the human side. And I guess we're all sad today because we recognize how much he loved playing for the club and how much he loved the club. But yet, some of us as fans, me included, despite knowing that he loved the club, are still like, you need to go, bro. And I feel it's a really weird sense of where we are emotionally right now, right? Because, he's never complained. Like, there's never been any rumors about my man, family man, always been a consummate professional, hasn't always started, but when he's played, he's given everything. So, the kind of player that you want at your club. So,
definitely.
Yes.
CW says, I'm sure it was an injury throughout season when we beat Chelsea 2-1 and the Chelsea defender landing on Jota's hip area and he had to come off. That's exactly the one.
That's exactly it.
Right. And that was quite early in the season as well. I think that was season starts in August. I think that was probably in about October, November,
right.
I think it was.
It was about October for real. It was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. See that now. Move on to the next one, please, Stoke.
Yeah, that was the that's Chris was just. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and then he says, I even feel like an idiot now for saying he goes missing for the Ultimate Team of the Year comes out. Yeah, we all do. We all do, Chris, man. We all do. We all do. But at that point, we're just looking at it. Blinkered Liverpool fans wanting our club to do well. That's all we're looking at. We're not looking at everything else behind the scenes and what's going on behind the scenes. It's only like now certain things are coming to light. So, yeah. And like I said, it puts things into perspective, man. Maybe going forward now, we might tend to look at things a bit differently and question certain things before we make judgment. I suppose. Might have to now going forward.
Yeah, do you know what? And I think that's a really good point. And I think I try to be a bit reflective at times, but you get caught up, right? Because most of the games now, like we're all watching them live ourselves on, whether like we're watching them live 5, 6, etc. We're all in groups, so the moment it's almost like we are.
Speak for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry.
Yeah. Speak for yourself.
Prime.
Yeah, Prime as well. Yeah.
Prime. Yeah, on Prime. Yeah. Definitely Prime. It's almost like we're just responding instantly, isn't it? So a man misses a chance. Oh, crap. Second, this. And it's just instant, isn't it? Someone else is messaging, so then you'll respond. And then before you know it, we're just constantly commentating without even having time to just gather our thoughts in it and think about things, man. And yeah, Jesus Christ, like, oh, man. Tough one, man.
Yeah. Oh, boy. What can I say, man? What can I say? But yeah, well done, Liverpool, for retiring his shirt.
Bit of class about that.
Someone mentioned earlier that they should retire it for 5 years, like basically for 5 seasons, like the 5 seasons he was with us. But personally, I think it should just be retired and done.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, if any of the historians out there can confirm, would this be the first player that's died while still being a first team regular for the club?
It's the first that I know of.
Same.
Is that for Liverpool or just in general?
Oh, for Liverpool.
Yeah, for Liverpool.
Oh, right. Okay.
I had a brief look earlier, but nothing came up. There's
Yeah.
nothing I've got in my memories of Liverpool players.
Thank you, Stoney. Big shouts goes out Trim. That's up. Big up Cop Talk and from the Don't Gas family. So look out for that as well. It's his podcast. It's got two actually. Don't Gas. What was the other one he said? I can't remember the name of it. But look out for Don't Gas, and you'll obviously get the information for the other one as well. So big shouts goes out to you, Trim. Dara, again, first time I've seen that name come up. Nice to have you on board. Was there only other month watching Jota on the champion bus waving at us? So gutted. Peace and love to the fam, friends, fans. Big shouts, Dara. Nice to have you on board, man. Mark goes on to what we was talking about in our comments. He says, we say things for passion of football and not the player most of the time because we all want to win. Very, very true. Very, very true. This is something that we looked at on a lot of different levels. So my youngest daughter has now changed football teams and gone to another team. And we was looking at, they played in a tournament on Sunday, which she won. So well done to her. The team won it. But we was looking at a rivalry that her new team has got. She's plays for Harefield now. A new team that they've got a rivalry with going back, and it's due to the coaches, not even the kids. And it's the behavior of the coaches and coaching kids. And I tried to explain to my wife and some other people that my daughter's, she's 11, going to be 12. At that age, you're not meant to be just teaching them about winning. It's meant to be about development. But that's all this coach is focused on. And this is why he's arguing with people, wanting to shout at kids and that, because all he wants to do is win.
Wow.
It's absolutely disgusting to see. Absolutely disgusting.
Show a bit of class.
Get caught up, and that's all they think about. Is just win. So all you want is success. I think it's not only us. I think it's something that's drawn into us through society, through media, through everything. This is what you need to achieve. This is what you need to be. Like if you don't win, then it's just no good. And it's really sad, man. It's really sad to see because these are young, and it's not even like young. All right, no boys and girls, but you know what? Boys can be a bit more sturdy, but these are young girls, man. It's terrible, absolutely terrible.
Yeah, this is it. Like you need perspective in life, man. Absolutely, you just need perspective. It's hard to have sometimes, but it's needed.
No, it is definitely. Okay, gents. So we're going to raise a glass to Jota. Move on. Yeah.
Diogo. Number 20.
Number 20, man. Okay, gents. So we're going to talk about some transfer news. So first time in a long while that we've been so busy, so early in the transfer market, and not shopping at what do you call it, a happy shopper. Where we've been getting Harrods, man. I mean, yeah, we've been stepping it up. Definitely. Big shouts goes out there. I was raising my wine as we speak from a Scouser. If you're a Scouser, that means you're probably raising the bottle, not the glass. Yeah, Mark's raising his as well. Thank you very much, Mark. So we've got Frimpong in, Witzer in, Kirk is in. We bought another youngster as well. I can't remember his name.
The Hungarian goalkeeper, yeah.
And goalkeeper as well. So, gentlemen, who is next?
Because
we ain't finished.
Yeah, definitely not. I think business-wise, I think I'm actually quite pleased the way that we are moving in a manner in which we are at the moment. I think whoever that offensive player is going to be, and I think we will purchase an offensive player. I don't think it's going to be in the news as much as, and I'm just giving examples here. I think we were confident we was always going to get Wirtz, but that was quite heavily in the media. I think we're quite confident we were going to get Frimpong. That was quite heavy in the media. And the same thing as well with our left back from Bournemouth. I think the forward that we're going to get, I think is this going to be a headline and a person's going to be signed, whoever they're going to be. That is, I'm not too sure who it is, but I think we're in for another forward. I think what's been quite interesting is I'm going to bring it up actually because Mark just put it here about the three keepers.
Yeah.
So I think we've got Yarius has gone out on loan, so we've actually purchased. No, we got another goalie from Preston, didn't we?
That's a third keeper, yeah.
Yeah. So we got the goalie from Preston. In my own head, I think all of the purchases would actually be quite strategic as well, right? Because the first team players are still going to need to work with development players as well, and even with the coaches. Like as an example, the goalkeeping coach, because I think even our main goalkeeping coach, Brazilian goalkeeping coach, is left as well, and that was Taffarel. Taffarel, he's just recently left as well. So I think it seems like we're not just purchasing first team players. We're not just purchasing first team players, but we're purchasing development players and players that could also contribute to the staffing side of things, and that's what I think I'm actually impressed with, that I'm actually impressed with as well. But as I said, offensive player RT, I'm not too sure who that's going to be, but that's where I reckon the next signing is going to be for us.
So, brother Preds.
Evening, all.
Evening, brother Preds, man. Nice to have you on board, bro. Even under the circumstances, but you know what? It's nice that we've got the family together, man. That's what matters.
Yeah, that's what matters, man. Good evening to everyone out there.
CW says, I'd like to apologise for saying we won't get Wirtz yet. Year of little faith. Then a massive shout goes out to Credible. Says you'll never walk alone. Big shout goes out to Vinny as well. Sad times. Yep. Des B asked the question. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Does this now change our striker strategy? And will we keep Nunes now? Fred, since you've just come, mate, what have you got to say?
I've got to be honest. I just caught the back end of what you just said, and I think that's what my kind of sense of feeling been like since I heard it. I've not really been able to concentrate, and it's just been like, because we look at these players as superheroes, right?
Mm.
You know what I mean? There are heroes, there are superheroes, and we believe that, you know, they're going to live forever, and things like this happen, and it's just kind of put life and things in perspective. So, you know, in full fairness, in regards to the question, I haven't even. I'm still getting over just the shock of this tragic events that took place today. So I couldn't even answer you in regards to that question.
Stoney.
I think whatever development was with Nunes, I believe is still going to take place. And my rationale behind that is Liverpool have made a judgment on Nunes's performances over the last few seasons. And I think if we are in a position to generate some revenue for him, I still believe that he'll move on. In terms of whether this changes our striker strategy, what I'm still confident of is Liverpool aren't always just looking out for their number one target. I believe there's always 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what it may well be is that our strategy changes in terms of we'll still be looking to purchase an offensive player to replace Nunes. And then whoever we were looking at strategy 2, 3, 4, and 5, then we'll probably look at them to bring them in as well. So I think we'll bring in 2 offensive players as opposed to the 1.
Okay. I'd like to think that we're bringing in 2 offensive players because number one, Nunes is meant to definitely be going, and there was talk of using Jota as part player sell with some money. So it looked like we was always going to get rid of the both of them anyway. So I'd like to still think that we're going to be bringing in 2 offensive players. Only snag with that at the moment is nobody has made a firm bid for Darwin, and Napoli don't want to pay the asking price that Liverpool want at the moment, which I think is about 59 million euros. So whatever that works out to pounds, but 59 million euros, and Napoli want to pay something like 45. So they're quite a way apart at the moment. So we have to see what happens with that. So Doctor, what do you reckon?
I think it's like I just think we're in new territory, and I say that from the context of Liverpool like a family, right? You watch these Inside Anfield clips, and everyone's together. Our team spirit, our ethos, our behind the scenes stuff. This has been super powerful for everyone, and I just feel like when something like this happens, which is so tragic, you just don't know how that impacts everything else from Hughes and Edwards. Well, I know Edwards is quite heavily involved in some of the player selves. Do they become a bit sentimental and say to someone like Nunes, you know what, we was holding out for £60 million for you. Napoli can't pay it. They can only pay us 45. We're just going to let you go at a cheaper rate of what we deem appropriate because of the context of what has happened. Do certain players who wanted to go for whatever reason that the club were on the fence with, do they turn around and say, actually, you know what, we want to stay together as boys and get through for this season because he was one of us and they don't want to leave the club now because what's happened? And I think some of these things are really impossible to predict how individual people will respond right now. So I think it's really hard to talk about what might happen next. But I just think, yeah, guys like Darwin might say, actually, like I want to stay slot. Listen, like I didn't like certain things last season, but I want to stay here for 1 year and do it for Diogo. So I just feel some of them players, like their heads must be in an absolute whirlwind. Someone like Robbo, it seems, was pushing to maybe get a move because he didn't want to be a backup. Now might decide, you know what, I wanted to stay with the boys and stay together as we kind of go through something. So this is it. This is the first time that we're going to be going through this as a fan group, but also as players as well, where one of their teammates has blatantly died. So I think how that shapes what happens next, I just think if we're in completely uncharted territory. I think it feels like we will bring in at least one more forward. But yeah, the talk about Diaz wanting to go and Darwin and the Napoli thing nearly happening. And Chiesa wanting minutes, but then wanting him to stay. I just feel like it's really hard to know how people might respond now that this has happened, man. I just think it's super hard.
Okay, I hear that. So yeah, big up Creds. I'll see you on Saturday, by the way, Creds, mate. It's all about Quarks meets Epic.
I'm coming as well, man. I need a rave, seriously. Like I need to unwind.
Come down. I'm going down there on Saturday, bro. I was at the last one, and it was a great night, man.
I'm coming, man. I need to unwind, man.
So I will be there on Saturday. Looking forward to it.
I think just on your first point that you mentioned before about our business so far, I think obviously that feels a bit safer to talk about, right? I'm really not surprised about what we've done so far. I just think you look that we didn't spend last summer, which was strategic. I always thought we were going to spend money. We're just waiting. We were poised. So we was going to have more money, one. You look at some of the fees that Bournemouth paid for certain players, that they had a couple of men who they paid £80 million for, £20 million for. When they signed Solanke, £23 million. So if you're someone like Hughes, who's already like pushing the spending for a club like Bournemouth, when you're now at a Liverpool and you've got more scope to really push the boat, for me, it made sense that we were going to try and start making big moves. And let's come back to the basic psychology of the point. We've all played Football Manager. As soon as you play Football Manager, you want to sign players. I can't see a situation where you've got a sporting director that doesn't want to sign players. Doesn't make any sense to me. So the fact that we've been really, really ambitious, I think it just makes sense, man. And I think kind of Slot really is a wordsman, right? Just putting a bit of humour back into the show a little bit. You can imagine Slot really chirping Gal back in the day, and the man's just got the gift of the gab. He just has, in it. Post-match, he's breaking down tactics. So by all accounts, isn't it? Works has met with companies, met with Slot. Slot broke down exactly what he wants from him, want you to be doing this, because this is going to be good like. And it's almost like it's blowing his mind, isn't it? So I think, yeah, Slot's communication style and tactical expertise has clearly played a part in this player choosing to come for us. And I think for me, it's just, look, it's the tragedy of Jota and obviously the promise of what might come tomorrow as well. But I just think for me, I felt for the last couple of years that Wirtz is the best number 10 in world football right now. So I just think the fact that he's chosen to play for Liverpool, I think it's something that we can at some point like allow ourselves to be happy about as the season moves forward, man.
Shouts goes out to Mark Foster. I still think Núñez will go, and we will bring a left winger and a striker in. Diaz will play in instead of a winger. He play inside instead of a winger. He still thinks we're bringing the left winger. All right.
I can see that.
I'm glad to see that Liverpool came out and made a stance and said, Bayern, Diaz ain't going nowhere. I love that. There's B says, prior to today's event, I would have been happy if we didn't make another signing. What? Now, even if we keep Núñez, we will need another one. But I still wouldn't be happy with what we've got so far. I still want a striker at minimum. And at least then, if we didn't get that, I still want some rotation option for Gravenberch. Or another, we're getting Gahey. That's another one on his way in. Personal terms have been agreed on that, so it's just the clubs now to sort their nonsense out, and then that should be another done deal. But Konate looks like not happy with what's been offered, and he's going to do a Trent, run down his contract, and leave on a free. So that's another big loss, because I'm sure we could be talking about £70 million for him quite easily. So that's another loss. Chris says Gahey, Isak, Osimhen for Fana, the winger, would be what I want, but I think it'd be Ekitike instead of Isak and Osimhen. Isak, I'm hearing that he actually wants to come to us, but Newcastle are being silly because they don't have to play ball, and they're talking silly figures. I don't think we're gonna be willing to pay that. I think that Núñez deal is off the table, to be honest. Osimhen, he's a straight gunslinger, but it's all about his attitude. And we don't want that coming in and disrupting the club. This is what we're hearing.
But you know what? Yeah, I hear you on that one. I think was it Doctor who said it last in the program. Like for me, I haven't heard of any kind of attitude issues last season. I think the situation came ahead when I think it was a gentleman's agreement between him and Napoli, and it seemed like Napoli kind of re-engaged on that gentleman's agreement. But I haven't really heard about anything attitude-wise. Maybe it's just I've not seen any reports. Maybe I haven't seen it, and so it's one of those, and it depends. It depends whether Napoli's trying to put negative press out there in regards to him, I don't know. It could be games. Who knows?
There's B says, I don't understand how Napoli don't want to pay the price for Nunes, but want top dollar for Osimhen. That's business, isn't it? It's always the way, man.
And Osimhen got a clause in his contract.
I think so. Yeah, I think Osimhen's got like a 65 mil release clause, but
that's what I heard.
But it's not. But it's not clear how much other people want from that as well. So like how much the agents want, how much this, because I'm not sure. Well, a podcast that I think is quite reliable were basically saying in January we pushed hard to get him and were willing to meet the release clause, but someone wanted the next. It's almost like I think maybe his agent wanted him a piece of money, and then Napoli, they had those like loyalty bonuses where like, if you don't ask to be sold, then we don't owe you £10 million. So it was almost like there was a 65 to get him, and then like an agent wanted I don't know how much he was an old money from Napoli. So then we walked back on the deal, and I guess going back to Nunes, obviously there was a deal on the table for him to go to Saudi. And apparently it was meant to happen after he scored the winner against Brentford. And almost apparently it was around that period where he was meant to have gone Saudi, but then obviously the Osman thing falls through. He's obviously supposed to make it happen. And then it seems that deal falling through then impacted Nunes' focus and whatnot. And then I guess most of the season, his performances, they kind of like fell off a cliff, right, a little bit. But apparently, he'd almost like packed his bags and was going Saudi. So, I guess, back to Prez's point. I did hear something about Osimhen, and he's had, but he's been critical of the national team. Okay. And it's something like he did like a live stream where he was cussing the coach or something like that, which obviously isn't great. But in terms of club football, I haven't heard anything personally, but he's just got like a bad label now. So it's not clear what's true versus what's just like negative PR.
Lee, did you get all that drink out of that bottle then?
I was just about to say
that was my what do you call it? My flask thing. That was the ice.
Oh, okay.
And the ice it got stuck in the bottom of the thing, so I had to give it some encouragement.
It's like back in the day when you had the bottle tomato ketchup in it and you just get it. Come on.
You know what we're like? Anything that's not working, get a lash, innit? TV's not working back in the days, and big back TV, get 2 lash. You go and get the hammer. That's what we do, man. You know what I mean? Kids don't listen. Did I say that loud? Whoops. So well, I you know what? I wouldn't mind Osimhen because he's a straight gun, man. Doesn't mess about, man. I think he scored 37 goals this season for Galatasaray.
Yep.
In 40 something games. All right. I know it's only the Turkish league, but still.
Goals are goals, isn't it?
He's banging them in, mate. He's banging them in. So I actually won't mind him coming in. And I think if he's going to get service from someone like Witzer and that, it's going to be peak. It's going to be key. It could be raining goals. Shouts goes out to Maura. She said, to Dara, sorry. She said, thanks for the lovely welcome. That's what we do, man. Your fellow scouts. Fanatic One, evening, lads. Have Liverpool made a formal bid for Isak? No. Not that we're aware of, no. I don't think we will be at them kind of figures.
I don't think you will. But shout out. This is my brother. He supports Aston Villa. So at some stage next season we'll get him on the channel. I was asking him a lot last year, but he was quite busy.
Hold on a minute. So you got one brother who supports Liverpool, one who supports Man United, and one who supports Villa.
Yep, all in one household, and we are all close.
Oh wow!
And we are all close.
That's crazy.
All close.
Wow!
Crazy. Absolutely.
Nuts. I know.
Well, I must have told you about my good friends, the Morgan brothers. There's 5 brothers. they're all, when I mean big men, they're all big men. So the youngest brother's got to be, I think the youngest brother's about 56, 57. 57, I'd say the youngest brother is. So he supports Arsenal. The brother above him, who's going to be 60, he supports Man City. The brother above him, he supports West Ham. The brother above him supports Spurs, and the brother above him supports Liverpool.
See,
Bloody hell.
All in one household.
there you go.
Jeez.
And the thing is, like, so even as us as brothers, we've all got our own rationale for actually supporting the teams that we do, and it was just to do with periods in football, players, and whoever was winning at that period of time. So it's still a happy family. Our only separation is that we support different football teams, but it's just so love, man. So it works.
Nice.
Yeah, works. Where you see Szoboszlai now, Wicks is here. Is Wicks playing wing, 10, false 9? I just don't see where Szoboszlai is going to be in that lineup. Oh, gentlemen.
That's an excellent question. I had actually been thinking about that as well, you know, and I mean, Szoboszlai for Liverpool, that is. I know he's played in various positions for the national team, but he seemed to be slowly finding his feet playing in the position he did. I think one criticism was probably assist or goal output. And I thought that would have been where he probably would have had opportunity to see if he could implement that for this season. But you're right, it is going to be so interesting. Does Dominic have another season where he settles in there? Or does he play in an adjusted system or formation? Or does Wirtz move around? That within itself is going to be quite interesting. Can Wirtz play as the out-and-out number 9?
No.
No. It's like a second striker, isn't it?
Yeah, he's more like a 10, yeah.
Right.
He's like a
Yeah,
10,
he could do a false 9
9.
job. Yeah, like he could do a false 9 job. I just don't think we've got, in my opinion, at present, the ideal wide players for false 9 anymore. In a sense of Mo's not running in behind with much of the same kind of pace. Diaz might go. Cody, whilst he's not slow, he's still like a ball to feet winger who wants to carry the ball. Hence, I know he's a name that infuriates many people for multiple reasons, but an Anthony Gordon style of wide player, I think, would work quite nicely as a false 9 because he's just pacing what's running behind. And I just don't think we've got that in the squad right now, but certainly Wirtz can play the role. I just think Wirtz is just a world-class creator, and Slot's obviously got a plan for him. What that is it's tricky to know, man, because I'll be honest, I remember start of the season, back in the last season, there was talk about Liverpool wanting to bring Pong Kirkes. I was adamant we were not going to sign 2 attacking fullbacks like that. I was like, this is not real life. We're not going to sign Frimpong for right back and Kirkes. Slot wants one defensive, one to hold, one all this kind of mumbo jumbo. So I just think, who knows what Slot's got cooking, but he knows got something cooking. But I think the main thing is Wirtz is basically going to be our chief creator. That's going to be from wide, starting in the 10, 9 dropping deep. Like, we're going to create situations where he can show his magic, but what's going to happen around him is really hard to predict, man. Really hard.
I can see us playing at the back with Kirkes and Frimpong playing high up as wing backs.
So we did that against, I think it was Arsenal. We got into that shape a few times where Grav dropped into the back 3 and then the fullbacks pushed wide, and then the double pivots then stayed there, and then obviously Diaz came back. We did something similar to that, so it's possible, man. It is possible.
I can see that.
So that would be quite interesting then, based on what you were saying, I mean, this food for thought has made me start thinking completely differently as well. The thought that we probably will play a completely different formation and system. If we were to go to the back three, could you then envisage us having to purchase 2 centre backs then? Because at the moment, if we were to play a back three with our current, and we know that we're obviously looking for another centre back, we currently only really have 2 fit centre backs, though, really, don't we? I mean, Kwanzaa's moved on, so can you see us? Can you then see us getting a replacement for Kwanzaa plus another one, because we're still not too sure on how Gomez is actually coming back from his setback with his injury.
Well,
so I wonder then if we're probably then in the market for 2 centre backs, and if we are, they're probably then going to be deemed to be 2 first team centre backs, which will be interesting.
So I don't think we will do that. I think potentially, depending on, and this is all I'm saying, it's all in the context of obviously what's happened hasn't happened today, but potentially there was a situation where both Robbo and Costas went, and then maybe we then got Gahey to cover Kwanzaa, and then maybe got Pato from Ajax to then be another option for centre back as well, somebody who could play there. But see, I think we'll probably we could go into a back three in our actual like build up phase, but I don't see us starting with a back three. I almost see it being a variation of the 4-2-3-1, and then obviously Grav then dropping into the centre back, splitting, fullbacks pushing high, double pivot in the midfield, and maybe having like a diamond, so almost like Grav, Szoboszlai, Mac, and then Works, and then maybe 2 forwards, either wide, one narrow, depending on how it might be. But I just think Works is like a little mini genius, basically. So just like prepare for fireworks, isn't it? Because this guy is come on. I'm glad Chris said earlier. I said it wouldn't happen because most people thought that Liverpool aren't going to get Works.
Yeah,
and the thing is,
especially at them P's, there was like no chance.
And do you know what it is as well? Because we had no historical links to this guy, innit? So all of the rival fans spoke about him with honesty, innit? The Arsenal fans, Works is great. Chelsea fans, he's great. United, City wanting him to replace KDB. Soon as the links to Liverpool come on, that's too much money. When no one knew we were linked to him, he was the best thing since sliced bread. And there's receipts from all fans in it. He's just universally recognized as just a top G in it. So yeah, I think next season is going to be a madness. I just think he gets even better. And Jesus, the guy's good in it. Like, he's great. For me, yeah, that's the best number 10 in world football, personally.
Right now, definitely.
And I think there's a difference between him and the next person.
His favorite player looking to go to Barcelona.
I think it's a good move for Barca. I think Diaz may be in a better move because of his ability to play up front. But who knows, Chris, boy? If Barca go back in for Diaz, then maybe Nico ends up at Anfield as well, boy. And it might be double humble pie for you. It might be humble pie and custard, boy. So never know. Never know, man.
No. We're good. We'll stick with that. But I was saying that. So, as a striker, definitely, gents, we need a striker.
Yeah.
Friends, who would you want right now? Be realistic. Who would you want? Out of all the names that's being mentioned, who would you actually say and you feel fits into what Liverpool's about?
Osimhen, for me.
Okay. Stoney?
I think it. Yeah.
You know, I can't think past Mateus from the striker from Atalanta. You know what? That's my go-to guy. My mind has not changed one bit on that. If we could get him, I would be elated. Hasn't changed one bit.
I think he's going Saudi, you know.
I heard something like that.
Yeah, I think so. In
Okay.
Saudi, I heard. Yeah.
Okay.
And Doctor.
Osimhen, you know.
Ah,
I like
seems
Osimhen, man.
and I'm gonna join Team Osimhen as well.
Yeah.
Seriously. Okay.
So,
I just think
No one's
that,
talking about
um,
getting that no more and all the rest of it.
I just
So
think
that-
like with that price,
mm,
still.
so that there was some conversations about him provisionally going Saudi. Is does anybody know whether there's still that's still going to be like bear fruit, or is that done and dusted where it's not happening anymore?
So
Who to go Saudi?
Osimhen.
Osimhen.
Yeah, no, yeah, but I believe there is options, but I believe right now, if he's got the choice of going to Saudi or coming to us, I think he'll come to the Prem.
Yeah, so he's turned down 2 moves to go Saudi. So they were trying to paint my man as either having a bad attitude or being greedy. His wages are ridiculous. No. He's been one of the top, in my opinion, top 3 strikers. You could stretch it to top 5 strikers if you wanted to, but in my opinion, top 3 strikers in world football in the last 3 to 4 years. He's now on 250 a week. That's the kind of money that you would expect for someone of his pedigree to be earning. What do people think Harry Kane's earning in Germany? What do people think Haaland's earning in Man City? Haaland's on about 750. This whole idea of Osimhen being on 250 being outrageous. Sancho's on 320. Rashford's on 280. Like top boys get paid top money. So yeah, like I never really kind of got that. Like he's greedy and he's got bad attitude. Like he said, he's turned down 2 moves to Saudi for obviously a good reason. So clearly he wants to join the team in Europe. So yeah, that's my choice. I just think his power, his pace, his intensity, his ability to unsettle defenders. Yes, someone like Isak has probably got a better all-round game, absolutely. But I just think,
definitely.
I just think if we're going to have now a number 10 in Wirtz, either playing from the left or starting in that 10 role, then maybe the need to have a number 9 that can do everything shifts now. Maybe want somebody just to hold out the ball, stretch defenses, and just be a finisher. And I just think, okay, if that's what we want from Osimhen, then I think, yeah, he will do that spectacularly well. He's a monster in the air. Pacey, physical. Man's going to come with the Batman thing on, or like wherever he's got the mask. And come on, bro. Like, he's mashing man up, innit? Mashing man up.
CW says Endo, Majetic are going to be a backup for Gravenberch, in my opinion. As much as I do want backup, just what he thinks. Okay, and credible thinks that. Oh, Vinny, you know you can get banned for talking like that. Yeah? Get banned for mentioning that name.
Oh, mate. Mate.
What is it with these players with three names, man? They need to get banned. Kyle Walker-Peters, James Ward-Prowse. Bro, please.
Yeah, he's on me, innit? He's on me. Right, BW, hands up, man, hands up.
Yeah? Please, let's leave that alone. I have concerns about Ekitike. This is awful, but slot at final developed Santiago Jimenez into a great striker. So I would trust Slot regardless. Wirtz. I was liking the talk of Alvarez. So we'll definitely take him, says Credible. Yeah, I think Alvarez will definitely do a job. Definitely, 100% do a job for us.
I think Alvarez is outstanding. I think he's a top baller, but I'm not sure if it's realistic, but let's say it was realistic. I probably wouldn't do it on the basis of, I think he's just too small. And I think the team will become a little bit too small. I just think when I have Frimpong, who's 5'9", so let's say we were to sign Alvarez, right? Our starting lineup, what we think would be the starting lineup would have Frimpong, Alvarez, McAllister, Mo Salah, Wirtz. Basically got 5 men who are not tall in it. That's half of your team. You can't play Arsenal when they're set piece thing.
Snow White.
Yeah, you can't play Arsenal. You can't play Arsenal like with their corner routine with that team. You can't.
Oh, you'll get mullered. You'll get mullered.
You can't. Because these men have to be 6.
Mind you, earlier on, we was talking about one of the best headerers. Diogo Jota. He went to.
Yeah. It's true. No, you're right there. Oh, Vinny,
wow, Vinny.
What's wrong with Vinny? That's my reaction today, man.
Vinny, that's 2 bad comments, bro. But listen, first
blonde hair, Vinny. Is that it?
First strike, bro, and you're a goner. You're out of here. As they say in baseball, you're out of here.
Man,
you got one more.
Really on some stereotyping, African and blonde hair, yeah. Jesus Christ, Vinny.
Man said, "Good." Nah, Oshman ain't spitting on no one, bro. Trust me. Not doing it.
Yes, good. I just
VW,
got a quick.
Who's your pick then, VW? Or did he say? Or did he say Alvarez? No, it was Prince that said Alvarez, isn't it? Yeah.
And I hope I'm saying your name right, yeah, Dara. There be no replacement for Jota. Who can fill those boots?
You know what? I got a bit. This is like licking my lips at the thought. You know, we brought in Florin, and then you stuck at our forward line with Jota in there. And I think, yeah, it's just one of those where it's like, he could have flourished. He would have flourished.
Yeah, absolutely.
He would have flourished in where that ammunition coming towards him. And like you say, you know, like Lee said, he was, I don't know what was he's 5 foot 10, 11, but you know, strong in the air. Yeah, so number 20 shirt is going to, well, hopefully, I should imagine they retired the shirt.
Oh, they have.
They have, yeah. So yeah, it's very tough. But you know what? Someone put on a comment in regards to the mental kind of health of the players.
That was really
yeah.
Small comment.
Yeah, and I think that's a really, really valid and really important statement, because as much as we say these are our heroes and they go out and they play football, they're, you know, significantly today's events has brought the reality that they're human beings as well. And the mental health of them, like you say, Doctor said, some people deal with it in different ways. So I think the first part of going forward, Liverpool going forward, is just looking after the players and their mental health and making sure that they get as much support. Because I've got to be honest, I've come on there tonight because you guys are my support. Because it's like you want to, you know what I mean? You want to try and talk to people, and it's like, right, just need to be around the fact that Liverpool family and be able to talk. So yeah, I think that's a really, really important thing, that the mental health of the players.
Yeah, and I think.
Do you think as well, though, it can have an effect on the players of motivating them and driving them forward, wanting to do it for him?
Yeah.
I think that's possible. See, I think what's reassuring now is there's a lot more sports science, psychology, psychiatry in the game. So there will be a level of expertise, but even expertise is limited, right? And I say that in the context of, you might be able to quote some theory of how sportsmen react to death and evidence says this, but it's people, isn't it? And each individual club's going to be different, circumstances are different as well. So I think the tricky thing is, and I think back to Kenny Dalglish, right? And I guess there's a reason why we all call him King Kenny. And it isn't just about how great he was as a player and a manager, it's because of what he did for the club around Hillsborough, right? But we saw how that took it out of him emotionally. And at some point he had to just leave. And I think this was a really hard situation like this. Slot, first time retaining a title trying to retain a title in England, Van Dijk, the captaincy. These guys may just be able to perform like superheroes next season. Like, it's really hard to kind of say how they will be over a period of time, 2-3 years. or what the impact of something like this will be. Hopefully, the support network around them means that they won't be devastated by it and won't have a long-term impact on them. But I think it's really hard. It's really difficult to say. Hence why I'm not sure if it'd be helpful. But I'd be looking to bring back like the Hillsborough people that were around that, the Dalglishes, the Barneses who are still connected to the club, the Molbys, and just get a bit of a support network in place for those people that are going to have to carry it, because all these guys are going to be looking to someone like Van Dijk, especially if the Robos go. The new players are going to be coming through the door as well. So I thought it's going to be a lot for these guys to kind of carry, man. So I think it's just going to be hard.
Nice one, the Man United agenda. Shouts to everyone. There was a comment earlier that I did say I was going to read out, man. I ain't forgetting it, trust me. Dara actually said she is the great niece of Dixie Dean.
Dixie Dean, yeah.
Wow.
But she said she's a red, but she's a blue by blood.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks to have you on, man. That's football royalty there, boy.
I'm telling you. Big royalty on the show. Yeah, Dara, don't think I forgot that one and let that one slip through. That one stuck in there. Oh, there we go. I'm a red by choice, but a blue by blood. Okay.
Yeah. All the more for embracing you, man. All the more for embracing you into the red family.
Can you go to Stoney? Can you go to CW's comment about Juve and Osimhen, please? I need to read. I can't remember exactly what he said. Juve wasn't a proven scorer like Osimhen. Juve was just a lunatic Balotelli, lost brother.
This guy.
He ain't lying though. That's the thing. He ain't actually lying.
Oh gosh.
He ain't lying. No lies told right there. I'm telling you.
Wow.
I remember having a drink in Marbella with Juve. He was top man. Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah, he was top man. He was.
Great.
It was like one of those where, like, all the drama that was surrounding him at the club and between him and Gerrard and X, Y, and Z. But then going to Marbella and he actually invited us into his VIP area, had a few drinks with him and stuff. And, like, my opinion of him was, he's a troublemaker, X, Y, and Z. But then it's again in it, judging a book by its cover, and when you actually meet the human being, different gravy, mate.
Thanks for sharing that, man.
So, for once, Stoney gave a good suggestion for a striker. Matteo has been a proven scorer in the Argentinian league and for Atalanta and Serie A. Argentinian teams got ballers too and play good football. Shout. Okay. The first game at Anfield is going to be a cauldron of emotions. Very, very true. Can you imagine what that Neil Never Walk Alone is going to sound like?
Oh, I'll be close to tears, man.
Yeah, I think it's going to hit different.
Yeah.
It's going to hit different. Seriously. Definitely going to hit different. Yeah, man. Big love straight back, though, man. Definitely straight back.
Absolutely.
Vinny says, it can go either way, RE. The first 5 games are going to be so hard. Yeah, I hear that's talking about when I mentioned about the motivation.
Yes, it's a kind of a fine line in regards to how it feels. Like you say, some individuals, I'm not going to say thrive on it. They will be their emotions, and it will drive them going forward. And you get some individuals who it might have another effect on them. You know what? It's just a fact of that, making sure that we all support each other. The fact that the players, the staff, everyone attached to the Liverpool Football Club, the supporters, just look after each other. And like it's at this moment in time, and just look after each other.
Chris says, I would say to Juve, what you achieved in your career apart from FA fines.
I mean, I tell you what, he was absolutely elated when Cameroon beat England, though, right?
Yeah,
Senegal, mate.
I mean, sorry, yeah.
Senegal.
Yeah, Senegal, sorry.
Hey, Stoney, you looking to get us a lash out here, bro?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Where?
So,
Oh, my goodness.
before we go, peoples, how many more signings do you see us making?
3.
Yeah.
Centre back, potentially 2 forwards.
Okay. Nice one, Doctor. Stoney, what, you agree with that?
Yeah, Doctor read my script. I was just about to say that as well, man. So yeah,
Okay.
definitely agree with that.
Prince?
I'm going to go for 2 centre halves and the forward. Right, because I've been with scan all over the place on social media what's going on, and a few explanations in regards to Liverpool wanting that first team centre half, but also wanting to get another centre half who's a bit younger, but who's good enough to play. And I think, two. I think we're a bit light on centre half, so 2 centre halves I'll be happy with, and
Okay.
a striker.
Oh yeah, and so mentioning that, Mark, Liverpool have set the price for Harvey at 40 plus a buyback clause, or straight 50 million, no clause.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
think
enough.
that's fair enough.
after what he's done in the under 21s, scored in every round, would you keep him, or would you still let him go?
For me, nothing's changed. I would still let him go. I think before the tournament, I think he was still valued at about 40 million. The only reason why I'm saying that because you got the English little premium on top, and I still feel that his value remains at 40 mil. What's probably going to work for his advantage is that he's shown that if he does have the opportunity, he can play for one of the top Premier League teams. And he's obviously shown on an international level, even though it's the under 21s, that he's effective. But I think this is the season that Harvey moves on. Not that he's not good enough to play for Liverpool, but I just think the positions that he would like to play in, we've just got too many other players there that I don't think he's going to get in front of. And I think he deserves first team football. I just don't think it's going to take place at Liverpool.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I agree with that, mate. I'm a bit like, I like Harvey. I would like him to stay, but selfishly, I would love him to stay. But as a footballer at his age, and after the tournament he's just had, I agree with you saying like he needs football, like first team football. This is the kind of the next step for him, and he needs that consistency and that experience of playing a whole 30, 40 games a season.
Yeah, I would. I know what I would rather let him go with the 40 and the buyback clause rather than take the 50.
Yeah, I can see the sense in that.
Because I still see it. This youth's got natural talent. This is not been trained into him. Natural talent, and those ones there. Yeah, man. Sorry, for me, 40 and the buyback.
Okay,
I'll be happy with that. Definitely be happy with that.
I just think with Harvey, it seems like we're not trying to sell him. He's indicated that he would like to go so he can get more minutes. And again, I just come back to the fact that he's been a part of this group for 6 years. He's a lifelong Red. And I just think he's one that after today's news, I think it's impossible to know how that might impact someone like him, and just how we all wanted to come on today so we could get a sense of brotherhood and community and speak to one another. Like, yeah, he may feel like, actually, I wanted to stay around this group because I feel like I need this right now. So I just think, yeah, it's really hard to know how it might impact him, man.
Because it could quite easily go the other way. And him thinking, you know what, being part of this for so long, brotherhood, family, and the tragic events in regards to him, he might feel like he might want to leave.
Yeah,
kind of,
agree.
to
to get away from it.
Yeah. Like he's a young kid. You've got to remember, he's 21. You know, and like to be 21 and to be involved for any player, to be quite honest, whether you're 21, whether you're 18, or whether you're 32, 33, to be involved in a team with a team and then having a teammate suddenly pass away, like it's
tomorrow's not promised, man.
Yeah, I mean, so
You must live good, peoples.
Absolutely,
man. Life in tomorrow is not promised. But yeah, okay, peoples, man. Thanks for joining us on our return. And now we will be back next week, in the following weeks, with more transfer news and updates. And hopefully we've got some more good news to tell you with the signings of someone like Gahey, hopefully, coming in. And maybe one or two others. We'll see. But yeah, we will be back. So remember, tell a friend to tell a friend, hit the share, subscribe, likes. Cop Talk is back, man. We're back on the map. And nice
Just
newcomers as well. Nice to have you on board. Yeah, definitely, man. Thanks for the support. It means a lot to us.
Definitely. And just in closing as well, on the Liverpool Football Club homepage, they've dedicated the homepage to statements on Diogo Jota. They've also got an open book on condolences as well. It's a digital option. So if anybody wishes to go to the Liverpool homepage, you're able to write down and leave your condolences there in the book.
Yeah, nice one for that, Stovey. So, yo, Jota, we out, bro.
Yeah. Number 2. Yeah. Rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace.
Yep. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And I look
forward to seeing everyone next week.
Next week, man. Love that.